Thank you very much. I think after I've also been listening to our audience, and I want to concur with them. But what has been coming on my mind, I've tried to investigate myself. Do men have friends?
Genuine friends.
Do we have friends? Not even genuine friends. I want, even if you ask the audience, if there are people they have met this week to drink tea or coffee, how many?
Let's be practical. Moja, na hujaninunulia yangu. I'm still waiting for mine. Na sio biashara.
Let's come and talk.
Kuja tuongee. Tukule gumzo.
The percentage is 1%.
Hey.
You can see where the problem
and
is.
Most likely, pasi, hata ndugu yangu hapa, juu namjua ni mwana biashara, hiyo chai ilikuwa ya biashara.
So I think even when we talk about women they are friendly to one another. Someone can close her house to go to the neighbor's house and spend the whole day. They are talking. But men, we are very busy. You can never, I'm also a witness, I've never received a call from a man. Hello, Pastor Jamne, this week I want us to have some coffee. Can we talk?
I tried one day, you was busy.
One day, but let me tell you, that's maybe 2 years ago, but you can be sure that. So I think that I'm just thinking, this is what has been coming in my spirit, that if men, we can start to create friendship among ourselves, then these discouragements, they are going to be minimal. Yeah. Because if I have a relationship with Pastor Dennis, he's my friend. At any time I'm discouraged, I can call him, Pastor Dennis, where are you? This week I want us to meet somewhere, we talk. It can be so easy for my discouragement or what I'm going through to be lighter. Yeah. But if I don't have someone to call, it's not, I cannot just come from nowhere and start calling Pastor Stanley this week and tell him, Pasi kuna shida niko nayo. Nimeachwa na msichana. The first thing he will laugh at me. But if he's my friend, we have close relationship, we'll be like, what happened? Can we go step by step? Then hapa ndo ulikosea. This is what you should have not have done. But because we don't have that relationship, the first thing you will look, hey, kumara unaachwangu. So, I'm seeing a very serious relationship in the men. Serious problem on the men because of lack of friendship and relationship among ourselves. That is what is killing men.
And here, it's not only friendship, it's a relationship. Again, there is a way we have set our mind when now we hear relationship. Maybe now we put it in quotes. But you see, if you look closely, you realize kuna women groups. Kama hii ingekuwa mkutano ya ladies, utapata almost every lady yako kwa kachama fulani. Show me one man who is in a chama fulani hapa. Don't raise your hand. Timo is raising his hand. And if we ask him the truth, maybe he's joking. When those ladies meet in those small groups, they are chaggering. Nowadays they call them like merry-go-round. Yes. A lot of things also transpires. Yeah. Looking on the positive side of it. Yeah. But men, I concur with you, Pastor, and I think from here, from the audience and these panelists, can we start a genuine friendship? Whereby, by then I felt it when our audience was sharing that you go to someone, actually it has happened to me, I have done the same to someone. We are not saints here, whereby I wanted somebody to listen to me, but before I finished, actually nowadays it's very simple. Before you finish online, another off. So the data is off. So you realize your message I just saw more. So unaachwa na shida zako wapi? Hapo. But now again from the audience, we have had this lack of genuine friendship or relationships. What do you think is causing discouragement or can help men come out of discouragement? Minister Winston.
Well, I wanted to also qualify the expectations that our discouragement maybe is anchored on. to qualify it, I would say it's unrealistic expectations. What happens is that society, the way it's structured, and systems all over the world, not even African, the man is painted as superhuman, Superman, like some people say, or Spider-Man. If you have been in a relationship, especially you've had a wife or something like that, they always feel that your money is sweeter than theirs. You may have maybe 1,000 bob, and she has 100,000 bob. Yeah, 1,000 will make a big difference. So you see, because of that kind of mindset in society, the expectations are made very unrealistic. Like you become a president today, and people expect, you see it on media, somebody's house has been taken away. Mr. President, come and help. Small things. Such things, when you look at them and you are human, you know you are flesh and blood, they really discourage you because the world has pegged so much on you as a man, even a small boy. When you have a small boy and a small girl, both crying, you'll always go to the boy. You say, wanaume hawali. So that grows and follows them up to the time they are very old, the adults, and the expectations that are put on them are very high. So that even if I have a vision for something, what people are expecting around is something more than the vision that I cast. And if I don't achieve it, kila mtu, ulikuwa unajifanya, you're a failure. You know, so it really discourages you. And if only society looked at people as men as human flesh and blood, then they would at least moderate the expectations and it would make life a bit easier. See King David, a very powerful king, like somebody shared. Very powerful king. He reached a point he was discouraged. After a victory, he finds their wife and everybody else has been taken. Now everybody say, ni wewe ulitupeleka kwa vita, wewe. That kind of thing. And then you say, what? I thought this is something that was collective. But now because he's a man, you have to give us a solution. And because probably he can't give a solution immediately, he gets discouraged. So if only society learned through the structures and everything to be realistic about our expectations, it will make men less discouraged. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. The society should realize that men are human, fresh, with ukimchuna atasikia nini? Uchugu. Maybe Pastor Dennis, in the light of what we have discussed, let's drift back a little bit. I have seen men of God being so much discouraged. Yes. Because as much as they are men of God, they have ministries. We have had, and I believe I've seen it in social media, right? Yeah. What do you think is the best way to handle? You are here, you're a man of God, just as King David, that's a good example. You don't want the sheep to go. You don't want to play safe, you know. How can we handle, as men of God, how can we handle discouragement?
Well, thank you. I think I would answer it this way. Number one, we should not be judgmental because the problem and the challenge has been being very judgmental. Let's leave alone the men of God. We are talking about men. I'll be getting back to the men of God. Even men, general men, the way we are saying, and of course even the way the audience are saying, someone is reaching out to you, they want just to discuss with you, and they want to just be very vulnerable and share, hizi story ndo zinaendelea in my family, or hii ndio ninapitia. Wewe already ushakuwa very judgmental. My panelist here has also said, ile design ushaanza kumpangia, ushajua huyu mtu already 1 2 3, so the answer that you give already umeshamjudge. You understand? And maybe from their end, what they were looking for, it's only maybe a word, not even money, not even anything, only a word. And that word ingemkwamua mahali. I remember there's a time, getting now to the man of God, our father in faith bishop mentioned and said he was thinking of building a clinic. And he met someone who said, think big. Those were the words. And those words, they changed everything. Suppose he met the same person or maybe another person and mentioned, I want to build a clinic. And then they say, you're not able, you don't look like you can, you have this, you have that, you have a family, you have everything, what a wezi. You understand? So that person, you understand? So if the words, with the words we look, the Bible talks about our mouth or our tongue, kukuwa na maneno yenye imejawa na grace. You understand? The words being filled with the grace. Because we will not be ending up clapping the men of God or speaking to the men of God, judging them like they are not men who are in flesh and blood, or they have flesh and blood. You understand? So because they will still make mistakes, they will still do anything because they are still men of God. You understand? But the way we perceive them, the way we look at them, the way we support them, the way we, that action is very important. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So we are at a place whereby we need to take this authority, men authority in general. True? Because sometimes we want to think that this man of God is prone to this because he's like this, he's not supposed to say this or to do this, right? Yeah. So, from the audience, what do you think? I want to hear from one person. I think Dennis has the mic. What do you think is the appropriate way of handling discouragement in married men? Because married men are going through a lot of discouragements. We may not be able to mention a lot of them. But as a married man, how can you encourage our married men to overcome discouragement?
Yes, my name is Dennis Jage. Yes, the way to handle the problem of men, first for me, it is to believe in God, the trust in God. Because without God, we can do all things. Nothing that is impossible to God. So when men pass through challenges, then they trust and put their hope and their confidence to God. God will give them a limit or the way out of that problem. Then wise people learn from others. So when we meet here, we learn from each other. So I can share my problem with my friend here. Then that problem, when I define it from few friends, then it will not become a big problem. The problem of women, we keep our problems in our mind, inatusumbua. Then another problem, inaweza kutusaidia kudeal na those problems as men, ni ya kwamba hata laziness inaingilia hapo, kwa sababu sometimes tunakuwa discouraged when you become lazy. When you have nothing, nobody will recognize you. Wow. Even your wife cannot recognize you. Sure. Because one day my wife told me, you should wake up early and go and work and come with something. Now you'll be recognized as a man of the house. You cannot call the man of the house and you have nothing. You are not be able to pay the rent. So go and work like others.
Yes.
So I told my wife, and you can discourage me. Because that's the spirit of luck. And that is why I thank a bishop, because when he was preaching about the spirit of poverty, it's a problem. There's discouraging as that problem. And that's why we are breaking the barriers. Simply because inakuwa problems wakati sisi tumekosa wanaume, tunakuwa chini. We are being discouraged even in the church, even everywhere you go. You cannot be recognized. If you have nothing, you should work hard so that at least unakubalika kila mahali unapoenda. Na vitu ni mingi sana zinavinyia tupitia challenges, because nowadays women are racing than men with a very high speed. Nakuta wanawake siku hizi ndio wanafanya mambo makubwa. Sasa siku hizi wanatu discourage sisi men, tunaonekana ni kana kwamba we are nothing because they are driving the heavy vehicles. They are doing, they are able to buy plot and develop. So sometimes na sisi wanaume tukikosa Mungu, maisha inakuwa ngumu, kwa sababu Mungu alituumba tukiwa wa kwanza ili tuone vile alifanya. Kwa hivyo kama Mungu aliweza ku create things, God, we are created in the holy image of God, so we can create things that will bring men as a lil. Wow. Thank you.
I love that. Let us appreciate. I love the way he brought it out. Eh? And hii si kumaanisha hatutaki our women wasoge, sindio? We want to appreciate them. They are doing a good job. But in the context he's bringing it, I also realized that sometimes men are discouraged simply because your spouse is earning more than you. So sometimes I realize, even as men, tunakuwa too discouraged for reasons there isn't. Because I believe if my spouse is earning more than me, it is just a matter of we agree.
Yes.
We agree on how to go about our family because it's my family. Because you now just need to offer leadership. And in that context, maybe Mr. Enoch, Kitode Kija.
Yes.
What can you advise men in 1 minute?
Okay.
How to come out of that discouragement and take leadership?
You want to give me 1 minute?
2 or 3.
2 or 3. Thank you so much. This is a very interesting conversation. You see, I love the way you have really put it, that sometimes we men, if we are to talk, it's all about business, you know? So we really don't get that time to interact as fellow men. I'll, of course, get back to my brother here. He's one of my best friends when I came to Kenya. But can you imagine, for 1 year, we had never met. 1
Don't
year.
crucify me.
Not crucifying. This is the real man talk. For
Real
1
men
year. I call him, so where are you? I want us to meet and talk. He's going to Muranga. He's going to Thika, Kitale. So I'm also, he calls me also. So where are you, Daktari? I want us to meet. Where are you? And I'm also busy in Kitui. In Kitui. So we have a challenge that, yes, we are really busy doing different shuguri. You call them shuguri?
Yes.
I'm learning so much Swahili these days. People didn't clap for me today. I don't know why. I'm really struggling to learn the language. We are so much into very many things that I now come to appreciate that as a church, we men in church, I think we need to change the narrative. It should not just be about business, meeting to talk and talk about business. It can be just talking, interacting man to man. Because I want to just give a testimony. The day I met him, Pastor Stanley, is the day everything changed for me in Kenya. I came here as a business person. I was representing a certain company. I will not mention its name here because they have not paid me. So I was working for them for some good time. Yeah. And then there came a time when I had to transit, move to one level to another. But when I met him, Pastor Stanley, we had a genuine chat. He was really genuinely interested in knowing how I'm doing in Kenya, how everything is going, my life, my family. We had a good time, of course, with a nice cup of coffee and chicken. You know, sometimes
I
men
bought
eat
for him.
chicken. Are you sure? Are you sure?
We are in church.
So it is okay to buy for a man chicken.
Okay.
All right. So we had chicken. I will not mention who bought. But what happened is he introduced me to the men's conference. You guys had a main conference. That is actually what ushered me into the church and everything that is going on. But I want to appreciate God for what can happen when men talk, real talk, genuinely. I came to this church just for the men's conference. You know, I'm a man. We go through life. So when I heard that this conference about men and things like that, he told me, I had to come. I didn't know this church was here because I was going to another church, different church. When I came, I was really encouraged. And then when I joined the church, you know, Bishop invited me so well. He made a statement that really communicated to my heart, and I was stuck here, you know. But what was the spark? Meeting this man, and we talked genuinely. You get the idea. So I am trying to appreciate the fact that I think God is now using us as a church and this platform, Man of God, to bring us together and then solve very many issues. I know Anne Kansime communicates to very many of you, East Africans. She talks to very many ladies. So there's this narrative she always says, you know, what a problem said is a problem what?
Absolutely.
See, you all follow her.
A problem shared.
A problem shared
half solved.
is a problem half solved.
Yes.
So do you know that ladies got that, like for real, they go by that. The only problem is they want to share with everyone so that they can solve the problem. You know, but that is something that we can learn from as men, that these ladies open up in their circles, they share, and they end up getting solutions. But women, we keep things or challenges with ourselves. And that is a challenge that is affecting us, you know. But now the church is a gateway for us to break even and help us get together. Because when you look at even the original plan of God, God wanted man of God wanted to relate with man, one-on-one. There's this song from one of our artists in Uganda, Pastor Wilson Bugembe. He says, Adamu yalina ekifo we yasinkananga ne Katonda nga buli lwagulo Mukama yakanga ne banyumya. Kitegeeza, what does that mean? That Adam had a place where he met with God in the evening and they talk. They communicated. But when that relationship was cut off, there was no communion, there was no interaction. You know, but when you look at the original plan of God, was interaction, sharing, getting to know, things like that. So I am encouraged, man of God, that you've introduced this men talk to help us that as men, we don't just meet to maybe discuss business, you know. Sometimes it can be life. When you look at the statistics today, men are dying. I have a medical background, so I'll just give this information to you for free. It's also on the internet. That men are dying faster than women. You get the idea?
Yes.
They are dying. Men out there. But I'm happy that the scriptures are backing up as men in church. We are not supposed to die. Men are dying at 61. That's the life expectancy. Yeah? So you are 45 today. In the next, how many? 15? 15 or 16? According to the world standard, you should be gone. You get the idea? But this woman here you are living with, her expectancy is at 67. You get the idea? But what are they doing that we are not doing? These people are always sharing. They are always out there. You know, make sure you share. Man of God, I think the missing link is now getting together, having these talks, not just in church here on just this platform, but also moving out there as men. Go for a cup of coffee. I love what Mr. Mututa does with me. I hope it's not just for business. He always calls me for a cup of, at least every week, we meet with him, you know, and
To talk about plots.
to talk about not only plots, but
Real
also
estate.
talk about life. Real estate. I am passionate about real estate, so he is teaching me real estate, but we also talk about life. We get that our time and talk. So for us men now, it is a time for us to open up, share, get a friend that you can, you know, interact with, share your challenges, and they have help. They will help you because also God has given us wisdom, you know. Let's not just talk about the scriptures, let us also apply them. Don't leave them in church, then when you go out there, we just live our ordinary lives because I believe we carry so much power and potential. Thank you so much.
Oh yes, the Bible says don't just be hearers but also doers. Mr. Mututa Kisenga, I see you have a point. Kindly.
Okay. What I can encourage the men, it's to communicate, because most of the men, they don't communicate. Like the ladies, they communicate a lot, WhatsApp, social media, but the men, they don't communicate. And that's why they have many discouraged. So if you have discouraged as men, it's good also to communicate with your close friend, so that the problems which you have you can sort out with close friend, because you can't communicate with anybody to solve your problem with which you have already discouraged. Yes.
Communication is key. Yes. And you also said that you also know whom you are talking to. Timo.
Yes, thank
young
you.
man there.
I can see that we are all talking about discouragement, but which is good, and we are doing it in the kwa watu wenye wako advanced in age, tukasahau sisi the youth sasa vijana. And this one is more of like a recommendation. You know, discouragement is an emotion. So with emotion, the good thing is they come and they go. It's not something permanent. Emotion si kama mkono iko hapa unless ikate. So with discouragement, you can for the young men who now are coming up to be the new adults, the new generation, give them a listening ear. Do not dismiss them. Sababu it has happened to me so many times. I try to communicate something to someone and they're not listening simply because I'm a young person, I'm a young man. And men hatupendi kupuuzwa. I want to say something, even if you'll not do it, just listen, see if it makes sense. If it doesn't, tell me a better alternative, ama tufanye hivyo. You just give a listening ear to that young man, give the right instruction, and he will feel encouraged. He will feel heard. Because if I feel heard, I know I am seen. Nikija naonekana, I will try to be a better person and do better. Yes, thank you.
That is amazing. Wow. Gen Z. Yeah. It's good. And I believe, especially for married men, that is a good challenge posed on us, that we listen to these young men. But I also want to encourage young men. When you come to us, and you want us maybe to listen to you, also be a good listener. Yeah, don't come to me and you're talking, and saying everything, you know. Be a good listener. And when you are advised as well, know what to pick and what to leave. So I'm excited about this topic and this show today. As we come to the end, I want to give our panelists each half a minute to give us their parting shot. Welcome, Pastor.
Thank you so much, Pastor Stanley. Mine will be very short. There is this notion that people have. Venye watu wanasemanga, mimi sitashindania na mtu, mimi nitasaidiwa na Mungu. Mungu ndiye atanisaidia na shida zangu na vitu zangu. Mimi sitaki maneno ya watu. I guess that's where tunaumanga nje. We understand, especially for men, because you know we don't share a lot. So we end up telling ourselves, Mungu tu ndiye atanisaidia na atanibebea vitu zangu na mimi nitampatianga tu yeye. Remember that God also uses men. In this context, men is both genders, but God uses men. So you might be sharing an issue to someone, ama tu ye venye unia get to just very vulnerable, unamwambia tu kitu. And out of that, he gives you a word, or maybe just connects you with someone. Na njia inafunguka, because to finish, men are doors and they are gates.
Wow. Men are doors and they are gates. Pastor Jamo.
Let me appreciate you for inviting me here. I've had a wonderful time. Maybe I'll just finish by saying that real men seek God. Thank you.
Real men seek God.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited for this conversation we had, the Real Men Talk. I believe even in heaven, they are excited. They are celebrating for such a day like this. Yes, as I conclude, like I began, where I draw my encouragement from is looking at the father of faith, our father Abraham. The Bible says, though he was ripe in age, he did not consider that, even the deadness of of Sarah's body, but she believed in God. He gave God the glory. So real men give God the glory. No matter what you are going through, no matter the discouragement, you know, the better way, the way out is to give God the glory. Give God praise and connect. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, our audience. Thank you, our panelists. I know we have had a good time. We can't expound that topic. This is a Real Men Talk. We'll have more of this. To our audience, we really want to encourage you to keep on following this Real Men Talk, because we are going to have more of this. May God bless you so much, and let us all be real men and help a man outside there. My point take home, create a genuine relationship with another man, somebody you can talk to, and even somebody you can draw more closer to God, or somebody who can draw you more closer to God. Thank you so much. See you next time.